In this video, we'll be practical working on AWS Lab 01, AWS IAM, one of the most important core services in AWS. IAM plays a critical role in both the AWS Solutions Architect Associate SAA-C03 and AWS Cloud Practitioner CLF-C02 certification exams. This lab video is completely hands-on and practical, designed to help you how AWS IAM works in real-world scenarios. We'll cover key concepts such as IAM users, groups, roles, and permission policies so you can confidently manage access within AWS environments. After practicing AWS IAM concepts, it's important to understand how AWS IAM-based questions are asked in the real exam. That's where Study for Exam can help with practice questions designed around the actual exam pattern. Their AWS practice questions give you a clear idea of the exam pattern and help you evaluate your readiness. Alright, let's begin the lab and dive into AWS IAM. Yeah, welcome to this Amazon Cloud Foundation session, ACF. So in this session, we discuss about the IAM, which is referred as Identity and Access Management, and is one of the vital security feature in accessing the Amazon resources. It basically allows you to control access to compute, storage, database, and other application services in the AWS cloud. It can be used to handle authentication and also to specify and enforce various authorization policies so that you can specify which users can access which services. So it is a tool that centrally manages access to launching, configuration, managing, and terminating resources in AWS accounts. It also provides a granular control over access to resources, like who can access the resource and which resources can be accessed and what can the user do to the resource, as well as how resources can be accessed. And it offers at a no additional cost, means IAM is a no cost AWS account feature. So if you look into the essential components in this IAM, Identity and Access Management, you have four things. One, the IAM users and IAM group and IAM policy and IAM role. See, when you come to the user, a person or application that can be authenticated with an AWS account. So that comes under the user category. And when you come to the group, a collection of IAM users that are granted identical authorization. See, basically it happens like this. If you have a multiple number of users to whom you are going to allocate or authenticate a certain amount of resources, and instead of allocating each and every user, you can straight away make a group and put all users in the group, so that once the group policy or document is done, that automatically gets implemented to all the users whoever are there in that group. And this IAM policy is the one which really defines which resources can be accessed and the level of access of each resource. So these policies are quite important. So normally these policies are written in JSON and they're scripted. And the fourth category, when looking to the IAM role, a role is always a temporary administration privilege given to maybe one user or a couple of users to access or to a set of permissions for making some sort of AWS service request. So these are the essential components of a IAM group. And when you come to the authentication or as an IAM user to gain access, we have two different categories of access, which can be referred as types of access. One is based on programmatic access, and the second one is based on AWS Management Console access. So if you want to make your software to access it, then you can you can go for a programmatic access where you have it provides either through CLI command line interface, or you can also use the SDKs. So both the options are available in programmatic access. And the second one is a graphical mode, which is a AWS control access, and of course it asks you the username and the password, and maybe sometimes it can be configured for MFA also for extra security, multi-factor authentication. So through that you can access through the AWS Management Console. You can use this IAM. You can configure these IAM policies. And MFA, as I just said, it is a multi-factor authentication. It's a extra security level. It's more than a simple username and a password. And so in this case, apart from username password, it asks you require the authentication code also. And you can see here, basically these actions, like the actions or the constraints or the limitations for a group or a person or a role, all these things, they're based on the scripts which are written in JSON, and they are referred as IAM policies. So you can give the full access, or you can give read-only access, or you can give a partial access, and for whichever instance you want. It can be EC2 instances, so it can be S3 bucket resources, or maybe other resources. So this is how they define the policies. And authorization, as I said, permission determine which resources and operations are allowed. But by default, all permissions are implicitly denied. And if something is explicitly denied, it is never allowed. And the best practice is always to follow the principle of least privilege. That means it's always better to give exactly or the real privilege a user needed. Giving anything more than that that leads to some security issues. So the scope of IAM service configurations is global. Setting applies across the all AWS regions, because you know that you have various regions in AWS. So it applies to all the regions. And coming to the policies, this policy document that define permissions, it can be a identity based or resource based. So you have two categories of policies. One is identity-based policies, and the second one is resource-based policies. See, identity-based policies means you're attaching a policy to an IAM entity basing on either IAM user or IAM group or IAM role. So these are the identities. So these identities, if we allocate certain permissions, so they belong to them. And the policies specify actions that may be performed by the entity or may not be performed by the entity. That means either you accept it or you deny it. So whether you're attaching or detaching. And a single policy can be attached to multiple entities. So if you can make a policy and you don't need to go on writing the same policy number of times, you can make it attached to multiple entities. And any single entity can have multiple policies. So that is also it's possible. And when you come to the resource-based policies, you are attaching a resource. For example, if we attach a S3 bucket to so and so forth, so all those people, maybe the entities, they can access these resources. So these are the two different types: identity-based policies and resource-based policies. And this is an example which was written in JSON as a script in this security policy documents. You can see there effect is equal to allow. means explicitly allow gives user access to a specific, in this case the action is DynamoDB and S3. So you are allowing them to access this DynamoDB. You can say deny, maybe effect colon is equal to deny. In the second para, you can see deny. Deny means you're explicitly denying it, so it doesn't give any option to the entity or the users to access that particular resource. So this is how, and the statement consists of three important words. One is the effect, and the second one is the action, and the third one is the resource. So you can specify the resources which can be accessed, and you can give the action statement, and you can give the effect, which is very important, whether you are allowing or denying that specific resource. And when you come to this resource-based policies, you can attach not a, for a user or a group or user or a group or role, but you can straight away attach that policy a certain IT-based or resource-based policy, so that if the resource policy is allocated, and that policy automatically grants users list, so they can access that particular resource. And so it's implicitly always it is in deny position, and you can allow them uh, if you want to give any specific permissions. And when you come to the group, I told you this, the advantage of a group is instead of allocating each and every user, if you want to allocate maybe 30 users to access S3 bucket, or 30 users to access a specific resource, so instead of writing a document for each and every user, you just write to a group and attach all these users to that group, so automatically they inherently they get the option of accessing that. And a role is always a temporary. So a- it's examples of how IAM roles are used to delegate access, means used by the IAM user in the same AWS account as a role. Normally he is an IAM user, and you are giving some extra role, maybe for some administration sake, as well as used by an AWS service such as Amazon EC2 in the same account as a role. See, any role can be assigned subject to the requirement which you're planning about, or to give the access to a specific user. So this is the scenario where you can assign the roles. And okay, we'll do one thing. Just we go back to the lab session and do one lab based on this IAM policies, where we have a pre-configured users and groups, and just we look into that, and we'll work out how it operates, so that you can understand much better. Okay, let us move to lab session. Thank you. Yeah, okay. Let us start the lab one, introduction to IAM. This is the topology, and this lab already they are pre-created users, user 1, user 2, user 3, and we have three groups: EC2 admin and support, and S3 support. Our job is now to explore the pre-created IAM users and groups, and then after inspect the IAM policies as applied to the pre-created groups. And in the third line, it is there as following a real-world scenario, adding users to groups with specific capabilities enabled, and locating and using the IAM sign-in universal resource locator or URL. Let us start the lab. So as usual, we have to first click the Start Lab. And this lab creation, it takes some time, so you have to wait for a couple of minutes until you get the lab status ready. Now we got the lab status ready, so we can close this and open the AWS management console. Okay, the task one, the first task is we have to explore the users and groups which were they already pre-created while initializing this lab. So let us go to the services menu and we'll go to this IAM. We have to click this IAM. So we are doing the lab session on IAM. Yeah. So this is the template, we got it, and now the task one is to explore the users. So first we have to look into this users who are there and what are the groups exist, because we have seen there already the users are pre-created and even the groups are also pre-created. Let us first explore them. So let us go to users. Yeah, we have three users: user 1, user 2, and user 3. If we click the user 1 and we got the summary here, and permissions, there are no permissions at all allocated to this user 1 as of now. So we'll do that. Okay. And next, if you look into the group, yeah, there is no group attached to us. So this user 1 is isolated totally. There is no permission. There are no permissions. Neither he is connected to any group. If you look into the security credentials, user 1 is assigned a console password. Okay, assigned one console password. Console password is enabled. Okay, now we'll go to the group. We'll go to the groups. We have three groups: EC2 admin, EC2 support, and S3 support. There are three groups, but no users are attached to any of these groups. You can see a 000. So no groups are attached. For example, if you see some group and there are no users, this group does not contain any users. And permissions, yes, you have a Amazon EC2 read-only access to this group. So this one is already predefined. Even if you want, we can also see the policy. Show policy. Yeah, this is the policy, and you can see the this JSON script in which you have in this policy the three things are important things: affect, action, and resource. So it is allowing EC to describe, and it is also allowing elastic load balancing and get metrics. So these things are enabled and they are allowed for this group. Okay. So now let us go back to groups and explore other things also. Okay, let us see this S3 support. And S3 support, you have Amazon S3 bucket read-only access is there. And if you see the policy, what policy they written, yes, they allowed to use this policy, and you can use the get and list in S3. This thing is assigned to this S3 support group. As well, if you go back and see the admin group, so there are no attached policies, and this group is having a admin policy. And let us see the policy. What is the policy? This action describes and start instances and stop instances. These things are enabled to this EC2 admin. These are the three groups. They have a different uh, policies, security policies are defined, and of course they are pre-created. Now we explore all the three groups and their policy statements and what are the options are given to those groups. Now if we go back this scenario, you can see here the user 1 is assigned to group S3 support, and user 2 is attached to EC2 support group, and users 3 is attached to EC2 admin group. And now we will attach these users to this to their respective groups. Let us come back here. And now we are going to start the second task where we add users to the groups. Now select the S3 because user 1 is attached to S3. We'll do this. Select the S3, and in the S3 has a Amazon S3 read-only access. Now what we do is let's go to the users and then add users. We have to add user 1. Here is the user 1. Okay, so there are some error messages here. There is no need to worry about this, just forget about it. Go to the user 1 because user 1 is assigned to S3 support. So we are assigning for this S3 support, we are assigning user 1 and simply add users. Okay, and in the this view shows all users in this group. Now if you go back to the groups and see, yes, user is added to this S3 group. In the same way, we add the user 2 to EC2 support and user 3 to EC2 admin. So, let us go back to the groups, and now we select the EC2 support, and EC2 support we have to add user 2. So just add user to the group, select the user 2 and say click add users. That's it. Yeah, you added the user 2 for this EC2 support. Now go back to the groups, and this time you select the, see, we allocated a one user 1 to S3 support, and user 2 to EC2 support. And now we'll attach the user 3 to EC2 admin. So just click user admin, add users to the group, and select the user 3 and simply say add users. That's it. That's it. These three users is also attached to this group. Now let's go back and see in the groups menu. Yes, you have a assign or attach the user 1, user 2, user 2 as per this diagram. As per this diagram. Okay. Okay. Let us now move to the third task, task 3, where we sign in all the three users, user and password. We sign in and we'll test it whether the users they got the group policies and their accessibility. We'll do that, and now to do that, let us go back to the dashboard, and IAM users sign link is here. Let us copy this and open another browser, and let me execute that. Paste. So now this opens. Yes. So username. The username is user hyphen 1, and the password is lab password. This is already defined. Lab uh, password. Okay. Lab password. So just click it. Yeah. We don't want this to remember. So now to check, because to check, let us go to the services and click S3, because user 1 is allocated. User 1 is in S3 support group. So let us click this S3. Yeah. So you got the access to this S3 bucket. You see this? So since we added this user 1 to the S3 support group, so that's based on the policy, the user 1 he got the accessibility to this S3 bucket. Yeah, he got this. So user 1 got access to this S3 bucket, and if you want, you can create a folder also. So now let us verify whether this user one have any access to other resources. For example, we can test with this EC2. Okay, EC2, and okay, and we'll check it out whether we can see any instances. An error occurred fetching instance data. You are not authorized to perform this operation. So this is the thing, you'll get it. Okay, so you are only assigned to group S3 support. So the user 1 will get the access only to S3 support. He cannot access any other services. If he or she do so, they'll get you are not authorized to perform this operation. Okay, and now, okay, and let us uh, user 1 sign out from this. User 1 is tested, and now we'll test with user 2 and user 3. Okay, so let us go back and you take the you take this the same thing. Select some. Let us paste it and yeah. Now we'll test the user 2. Actually, user 2, um, user 2 is assigned to EC2 support. So user 2 get access to this resource, and user 2 cannot access the S3 or it cannot access EC2. So that is the idea behind this. The user hyphen 2, okay, and the password is same for all of them, that is lab hyphen password. Yeah, now we are entering into the, we are logging into the user 2, you can see here, and user 2 have access to EC2 instances. Go to services and click the EC2 and click the instances, okay. Yes, yeah, there are no running instances, but you can launch the instance if you want, you know. The user 2, since he is attached to EC2 group, he can access the EC2. Okay, we can try with let us check out with Oregon. I'm looking after 2 or 3. Yeah, we got it. In this region, it was allocated, and you can see here one instance is already running, a T2 micro instance is running, okay. And now, if you want, we can work on this, okay. This instance is running, and its VPC is this subnet, IP address, and everything. And if you want, we can stop this instance because we have the accessibility. Okay, let us do something and see what happens. Yeah, stop instance. Let us stop this. Fail to stop instances. Oh, because you're not authorized to stop this instance, you know. So you have only read accessibility. You cannot, if you go back here, you have only the read accessibility. So you can't, I mean, stop. You are not authorized to stop it. Let us cancel this. Okay. And okay, and now this is accessible, you know, this is accessible. We'll try with S3 and whether we can access it or not. And I'm sure that you can't access that. It should say unauthorized. Yeah, you got the access denied. It's an error. The thing is, because user 2 is only attached to EC2 support group, you cannot neither access S3 support or you cannot access the EC2. That is the point here we have to understand. And after it's over, you can sign out from this, and we can test the third user now. Yeah, we'll try with the third user, and he is user 3, user hyphen 3. and password is lab password lab hyphen PSSWORT. That's it, lab password. And now let us sign in. Okay, fine. Okay, so now you're in admin group. Okay, the user 3 is logged in Oregon origin the region, sorry, Oregon region, and go back to services and uh, let us go to EC2 and open the instances. Let us open instance, and you can see this the same thing. You are now in admin group, so you have some admin rights. Here you see this running. I mean, this instance is running. Go to this instance, okay, and go to actions and let us say stop instance. Yeah, stop instance. Instance is this. To confirm that you want to stop the instance, press the stop button. Now if I press the stop button, yeah, it successfully stopped it. It successfully stopped the instance. So this is the privilege which is there for the EC2 admin group. Since the user 3 is in EC2 admin group, he is able to stop this instance. Now we tested all the 3 users. User 3 can log out. Just log out, sign out. So this is how we have to do the lab, and we don't need this window anymore. We have the pre-created users and we have the pre-created groups, and of course these groups they're having their own privileges. You assign these users as per this diagram. User 1 is need to be attached to S3 and user 2 to EC2 support and user 3 to EC2 admin. What we understood is that user 1 can access, basing on this policy, he can access the bucket, and user 2 he cannot access the bucket, neither he can't use any admin related privileges. Only he can work with this support. And user 3, as per this policy document, he can you do the administration on the EC2 instances because it's EC2 admin, so he can create new instances or he can stop the new instances. Once this testing is over, then uh, you can end the lab. This is how you have to click end the lab. And are you sure you want to end the lab? Yes. Now with this demo, you may close this lab box now. Lab resources are terminating. After a couple of minutes, you'll get a message here that your lab is stopped. Now you try this on your systems and understand the users privileges and the group privileges and how they are attached. Thank you. That brings us to the end of AWS Lab 01. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and continue with the next lab in this AWS series. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.